Welcome to the Drinkies channel. This is why you need to master wine tasting. It's time to uncork the secrets of wine tasting. This isn't just about sipping and swirling, it's a full-on sensory adventure. We're talking sight, smell, and taste. It's like a party for your senses, but classier. Wine tasting isn't just for snobs. Anyone can do it. You don't need a fancy degree, just a curious mind and a willing palate. It's about noticing details. The color, the aroma, the flavors. It's like being a detective, but with booze. Think of wine tasting as a skill, like singing or dancing. The more you practice, the better you get. You'll start noticing things you never did before. So don't be intimidated. Grab a glass and let's dive in. Our first clue is right in front of our eyes. The color of the wine. It's not just pretty to look at, it tells a story. A story of age, grape variety, and even where it's from. So let's get those peepers working. First things first. Hold that glass up to the light. Tilt it slightly. Look at the color. Is it pale and watery, or deep and rich? For white wines, we're talking shades from almost clear to deep gold. Reds can range from pale ruby to deep purple. The intensity matters. It gives us hints about the wine's character. Now let's talk clarity. Is the wine crystal clear, or is it a bit cloudy? Most wines should be clear. If it's cloudy, it might be unfiltered. Or worse, it could be faulty, but don't panic, some wines are meant to be a bit hazy. Now let's get our noses in the game. Smelling wine isn't just about sniffing. It's an art form, and it's crucial. Why? Because your nose can pick up way more than your taste buds. So let's learn how to sniff like a pro. First, give the wine a good swirl. This releases the aromas. Now, stick your nose right in there. Don't be shy. Take a few short sniffs. What do you smell? Fruits? Flowers? Maybe something earthy? There's no right or wrong answer. Just let your nose do the talking. Different wines have different smell profiles. White wines might smell like citrus, apples, or tropical fruits. Reds could have berry aromas, or even tobacco or leather. And don't forget about oak. It can add vanilla or coconut scents. Okay, folks, it's showtime. Time to actually taste the wine. But hold your horses. This isn't a chugging contest. We're going to sip like pros. Ready? Let's go. Take a small sip. Not a gulp, a sip. Now, here's the fun part. Swish it around in your mouth. Let it coat your tongue. This is where the magic happens. Your taste buds are waking up. They're sending signals to your brain. Sweet, sour, bitter. It's like a flavor rave in your mouth. What do you taste? Is it fruity, spicy, maybe a bit woody? Don't worry if you can't name every flavor. Just focus on the overall impression. Is it light and refreshing, or bold and powerful? Remember, there's no wrong answer. It's all about what you experience. Let's talk white wines, people. These aren't just for summer sipping. They're complex, they're interesting, and they've got aromas that'll knock your socks off. So, let's dive into the world of white wine smells. First up, we've got the crisp and zesty whites. Think Sauvignon Blanc or Pinot Grigio. These bad boys often smell like citrus fruits. We're talking lemons, limes, even grapefruit. But it doesn't stop there. You might get whiffs of green apple or fresh-cut grass. Now let's move on to the richer whites. Chardonnay, I'm looking at you. These wines can smell like ripe tropical fruits. Pineapple, mango, even banana. And if they've been aged in oak, oh boy, get ready for buttery, vanilla, and even coconut aromas. All right, wine warriors, it's time to tackle the reds. These wines are like the dark, mysterious strangers of the wine world. They're complex, they're bold, and they've got flavors that'll make your taste buds do a happy dance. So let's unravel the flavor mystery of red wines. First up, we've got the fruit parade. Red wines are often bursting with berry flavors. We're talking strawberries, raspberries, and cherries for the lighter reds like Pinot Noir. For the bolder ones like Cabernet Sauvignon, think blackberries, black currants, and plums. It's like a berry bonanza in your mouth. But hold on to your hats, folks. Red wines aren't just about the fruit. Many have what we call non-fruit flavors too. Ever taken a sip of red wine and thought, tastes kind of like pepper? That's what we're talking about. Some reds have spicy notes like black pepper or even cinnamon. Others might taste earthy like mushrooms or wet leaves. It's like a walk in the forest after a rainstorm. Now let's talk about oak. Many red wines are aged in oak barrels. This adds a whole new layer of flavors. We're talking vanilla, coconut, even coffee or chocolate. It's like the wine went to a fancy bakery and came back with souvenirs. Listen up, wine cadets, it's time to get systematic. We're talking about the WSET systematic approach to tasting. It's like a roadmap for your taste buds. The Wine and Spirit Education Trust, or WSET, created this method. It's used by pros all over the world, and now you're going to learn it too. First things first. This approach has 3 main steps: look, smell, and taste. Sound familiar? It should. We've been talking about these all along. But now, we're going to do it in a structured way. It's like turning your casual wine sipping into a full-on investigation. You start by looking at the wine. You note the color and clarity. Then you move on to the nose. You describe the aromas. Are they fruity, floral, spicy? Finally, you taste. You consider the sweetness, acidity, tannin, body, flavor intensity, and finish. It's time to put on your scoring hats. We're not just tasting for fun anymore. We're assessing quality. It's like being on a wine reality show. But don't worry, no one's getting voted off the island. We're just learning how to give wines fair scores. First up, balance. This is key, folks. A balanced wine is like a perfectly choreographed dance. All the elements, acidity, tannin, alcohol, sweetness, work together. None of them stick out like a sore thumb. If one element overpowers the others, that's a point off. Sorry, wine, you gotta play nice with others. Next, we've got length. No, we're not measuring the bottle. We're talking about how long the flavors last after you swallow. A high-quality wine will have flavors that linger. It's like the wine is saying, "Hey, don't forget about me." Practical tips for developing your tasting skills. Okay, wine apprentices, you've got the knowledge. Now it's time to put it into practice. Developing your tasting skills is like working out. The more you do it, the stronger you get. So let's pump some iron for your palate. First tip, taste, and taste some more. But here's the catch. Don't just drink mindlessly. Pay attention. Every time you sip, think about what you're tasting. Is it sweet, sour? What fruits can you detect? It's like turning every glass of wine into a mini lesson. Your friends might think you're weird, staring at your glass. But you're leveling up your wine game. Next up, comparison is key. Don't just taste one wine at a time. Set up mini tastings for yourself. Get a few different wines and taste them side by side. This helps you notice the differences more clearly. It's like spot the difference, but for your taste buds. Well, wine warriors, we've come to the end of our tasting journey. But really, it's just the beginning. You've got the tools now, the knowledge, the power to appreciate wine like never before. It's like you've been given a secret decoder ring for the world of wine. Remember, wine tasting isn't about being a snob. It's about enhancing your enjoyment. It's about noticing the little things, the subtle flavors, the aromas, the way the wine changes as you drink it. It's like watching a movie in high definition instead of standard. You see details you never noticed before. But here's the most important thing. Wine is meant to be enjoyed. Don't get so caught up in the analysis that you forget to have fun. Sure, it's cool to identify that hint of blackberry or that whiff of oak. But at the end of the day, the best wine is the one you like. Period.